Main card here for Seconds Out with top trainer Shane McGuigan. Always good to be in the company of Shane McGuigan ahead of a big fight week rematch against Richard Riakporhe. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's 5 years on from the first fight. It's finally here. We feel like we've been preparing for this fight for a long time. Obviously knew it was on the horizon, so excited about Saturday night.
How has camp changed around you having the birth of your second son? Have you had to flitter things around because of that?
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, it's just business. You know what I mean? Making sure that all the fighters get the correct time, and obviously going out to Saudi Arabia, that's probably the biggest hurdle, to be honest. Going out there for a few days and then coming back. But Dad stayed in and sort of did some conditioning work with them, and yeah, it was good.
Congratulations nonetheless. One of the big main talking points from a Richard Riakporhe perspective is the D word being thrown around, deterioration of Chris Billam-Smith. And I saw in an article with Boxing Senior, Dad kind of came back and shouted against that and said we haven't seen that in Chris. Just from your perspective, do you feel that same way? And why do you feel Riakporhe is bringing that up?
I genuinely believe he's just trying to create a narrative. And if he genuinely believes that, then it's a big worry for him, because I don't see how you can, I mean, like Chris has had underwhelming performances sometimes against Robin Dupree. He's boxed Jurjai just before he boxed Lawrence, and it was an underwhelming performance. Did he look great against Mastinek? No, but he got the win, and he's got an ability to grit things out. Do we want to have to go to the well all the time to do so? No, but he's got that in reserve. That's a testament to his character. And I just sometimes think Riakporhe is one of the guys that wants to wait till the stars perfectly align for his moment in this glorified moment. And if you're waiting on that perfect opportunity, you've got an absolute beast in front of you, a guy that's is going to unsettle you. He's going to fight at pace and stay on you. He's gonna get hit. Of course he's gonna get hit. Potentially gonna get hurt. But he's always gonna come back firing. And someone like Richard Riakporhe, when he's a perfectionist, likes the model lifestyle, loves the outside glamour. I think he's had about 4 minutes or 5 minutes in the last 16 months. Chris Billam-Smith's had a stadium fight, and he's had another very hard fought fight. And they talk about momentum all the time in boxing, and I feel like the momentum's in Chris's favour.
What about the weight for Chris? How has he been the last few camps and this camp making that cruiserweight limit?
Terrible. Struggles really bad. But we'll make it, and yeah, I think we'll just about make it, and try and chuck some calories into him.
Very much tongue-in-cheek response there. Fair enough. Penny for Ellie Scotney's thoughts not being on the card here, her team as well.
She's top promoted by Boxer.
I know.
And I don't think I don't think Matchroom and Boxer are. I don't think they're too happy to do business at the moment. I think they've got a few things behind closed doors that they're scrapping over, and I don't think they certainly want their unified world champion going onto another platform.
Absolutely.
We did actually ask, but it's not. It wasn't the one.
There you go. Just get your thoughts on the other fighters in your stable. First of all, Craig Richards wasn't a winning debut at the Shane McGuigan stable for him. Second fight, sorry, my apologies. What was said in the debrief after the defeat?
Very frustrated from Craig. Very frustrated from myself. I believe he could have performed a lot better. He sets lots of high expectations on himself. Yes, he's got a few losses on his record, but he always feels like he's a world-class operator, and I feel like he is as well. Willie Hutchinson really showed up. Very awkward style, and Craig just he didn't get going. He pushed the pace a little bit too late. Couldn't get his jab off against Hutchinson. Willie was very good at taking a jab away, and we need to go back and we need to address that and learn from it. And I think I've been in the business. I've been coaching 14 years now, and you've always got to keep striving for those extra 0.5%, and that's something that we'll do with Craig.
Elsewhere on that undercard, Daniel Dubois got a victory over Filip Hrgović. For many, he wasn't favoured in that fight, and a lot of people thought that when Dubois maybe would get hit, he might not fancy it, but he proved it out as wrong again. This time beating Filip. Your thoughts on a potential anti-Joshua fight, which potentially looms in the distance for him?
Great fight. I was just saying in a previous interview, it's a fantastic fight. You know, Daniel has always had that ability. When I was working with him, unbelievable ability, like great balance, great punch power. Can throw any shot in the book. Most heavyweights can't really do that. They're stuck on like the jab and the right hand. He could throw uppercuts, hooks. He could throw them with speed. He lacked a little bit of intensity, lacked a lot of belief. But I feel like the last couple of fights have really brought that out of him. You know, that confidence. He's still a young heavyweight, and he's got the ability to knock any heavyweight out on the planet. Can he get hit with those right hands that Hrgović was landing with AJ? Definitely not. But AJ doesn't throw it off the cuff. He doesn't throw it as quick. Not so much as quick. He tries to set the attacks up more. He's more selective with his right hand. And if Daniel is sensible early on and pushes the pace, I think he can win. But I also think they've got the ability to hurt each other big time.
There's a lot of conversation surrounding the prominence of Dubois' father in the corner. I don't remember him during your fights being as prominent when you were in the corner. Does Daniel need the presence of his father to spur him on, to motivate him? And do you think it's a recipe for success going forward? Naturally, if he keeps getting these victories, but because he's having that success right now, is it working?
I'd rather not really talk about her dad. I mean, and Daniel's relationship. I mean, it's their personal, relationship. They've got a great bond and they've got a great relationship. And obviously, he uses that as fuel and motivation to get out of sticky situations like those first couple of rounds with Hrgović. And I'm genuinely happy for them. I am happy for them. I always thought it would have been a big shame for Daniel Dubois not to really get the wins that his natural athleticism and ability is capable of doing so. And I think that was a massive win against Hrgović.
Okay, I respect that response. Just get your thoughts finally on Fury versus Usyk. We're heading for the rematch. Fury has since put a response post after a leaked video of him showing him intoxicated after a heavy night out. Just your thoughts on seeing an elite level fighter having a blowout. At least it's an isolated one at this point, but heading into a Usyk rematch, it's not really the images you want to see, I guess, if you're looking for Fury's success.
Yeah, I know, but I was just saying once again in a previous interview that people are just, the boxing fans are fickle fans. Like they're patting you on the back when you're doing well and they're kicking you when you're down. And I think actually sometimes the British population is just kicks someone when they're down, and I just I'm really disappointed because I don't drink, I don't smoke, but people do, and sometimes people need a little blowout. And it's his first loss when he's 30, just about to turn 36 years of age. I think he is. He's had a fantastic career, and he's brought himself back from the depths lots of times. He's got up when he was really badly hurt numerous times to win, and he got badly hurt in that fight. He still put on a good performance, and I think he's got a very good chance in the rematch. It's still a very close fight in the rematch. Usyk will learn from it, and Tyson Fury will learn from it. And I actually was one of the people that was saying it was going to be a terrible fight, but it really didn't. It didn't play out that. It was a fantastic fight. They both had the ability to hurt each other, which I didn't think they would, and it sets up for a fantastic rematch. The
adjustments you feel Fury might have to make to get the victory?
There's a few things he has to address, and I'm sure he will do so. He's got to have the right advice when it comes to needing rounds, and not conflicting reports in the corner. I think if he gets that right, and if he doesn't switch off like he did, that shot that came over the top, he was switched off. Like he wasn't boxing like that 4 rounds before, and that shot came out and hurt him, and I think that really swung the fight. So, but then Usyk's going to adjust as well. So it's going to be a fascinating rematch for sure.
So I'm going to leave the final with you. What happens on Saturday night?
Chris Billam-Smith win. it won't be pretty. It won't be easy. It's going to be a hard, grueling fight. But I believe Chris is intestinal fortitude is going to prevail. That guts, that determination, and I think that's going to be a big factor in this fight.
Best for the weekend.